At a campaign rally, Bernie Sanders made a call for rationality after the Paris attack, and I thought what he had to say was just perfect. So he states, quote, "Every American has been appalled and disgusted by the attack against the people of Paris by the terrorist organization ISIS. I know all of us send our condolences to the families of those who lost loved ones, and we pray for the recovery of all of those who were injured, many of them seriously. In my view, now is the time for developing a serious and effective approach to destroy ISIS. Now is not the time for taking cheap political advantage of this tragedy. Now is the time, as President Obama is trying to do, to unite the world in an organized campaign against ISIS that will eliminate the stain of ISIS from this world." Now, when it comes to the question of whether or not we should still accept Syrian refugees into the country, Bernie Sanders had this to say: "Now is not the time for demagoguery and fear-mongering." And he adds, "What terrorism is about is trying to instill terror and fear into the hearts of people, and we will not let that happen. We will not be terrorized or live in fear. During these difficult times, we will not succumb to Islamophobia. We will not turn our backs on the refugees who are fleeing Syria and Afghanistan. We will do what we do best, and that is be Americans, fighting racism, fighting xenophobia, and fighting fear." And he's absolutely right, and I thought that his words basically summarize exactly what I'm feeling right now. A lot of people, namely Republicans and defense contractors, are really hoping to exploit this situation. What they want is to get a whole brand new war. Particularly, it appears as though they want a ground war in Syria with ISIS directly. And look, defense contractors couldn't be happier, because at this time, we all get really scared. Our emotions kind of get the better of us, and then we start allowing politicians to take advantage of us and start talking about, maybe we do need to ramp up, our troops in Syria. Maybe we need to start taking defensive action against ISIS. Now, the problem with that has been illustrated in full detail after 9/11. We were all terrified. We didn't know what to do after 9/11, so we kind of allowed the government to just do what they wanted. I mean, George Bush started 2 wars, put them on the credit card. We basically allowed the government to erode our civil liberties. I mean, we have the Patriot Act. We have mass surveillance with the NSA. And what I think is trying to be done here by Bernie Sanders by calling for rationality is he's trying to get people to kind of take a step back and put this all in perspective and say, look, we're scared. We all are. We're all trying to overcome this fear together, but we can't allow ourselves to make irrational decisions. And I think that that's the perfect response, because what you need during these times when we're all kind of overcome with emotions is you need someone to come in and be that rational voice and unite us as a leader. And I think that Obama has done a great job at that. I think Bernie Sanders, as well as Hillary Clinton too, they've all done a really good job at that, but I think Bernie Sanders summarized it the best, in my opinion. So what I'm basically asking for is for all of us to not give politicians, the greedy ones who are trying to exploit the situation for their defense contractors to start a new war, let's not give them what they want, but also let's not give ISIS what they want, because what do they want? They want us to be more Islamophobic. They want us to start hating the Syrian refugees, because then they're going to go ahead and turn around and use that as a recruiting tool to get even more bigger and more powerful. And as you've all seen, I mean, tons of Republican governors are playing right into that. Plenty of people that I know on Facebook, liberal people, typically progressive people, are playing right into that hand. Let's not do that, okay? Because the Syrian refugees, they're trying to flee from ISIS. They hate them more than us, probably, because their entire country has been destroyed by civil wars, and ISIS is, in part to blame for that. So what we need to do is we need to develop a clear and calculated strategy driven by facts and driven by intelligence, and we need to not base our decisions off of emotions and fear.